What's up, graphic designers? Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Just wanted to draw your attention to some of the things that I saw in today's class. All right, so here's the comic that we analyzed in our second day of class. Shout out to Eitan and Yvonne. And what I know is when I draw my attention to the right side of the screen, I see the layers palette. What I also know is that on each layer, we have a thumbnail. We've also have a layer name. So in this case, it's layer 7. If you double click, you could actually rename it. So I'll name this we'll call this bubbles, dialogue bubbles. It's not that serious. What I also know is to the left of the thumbnail is a little eyeball. So check this out. If you left click the eyeball and it disappears, that means you can't see it. But if you can see the eyeball, then it is visible on the canvas itself. Okay, that makes sense. Additionally, if you want to delete something, so for example, I notice I'm on the bubbles layer, but I'm trying to delete let's say this image featuring Eitan trying to dap up Vaughn in the lower left-hand corner. If I press delete, the reason that happens is because I'm not in the right layer. So you're going to need to make sure you jump to the correct layer and then press delete. So it looks a little something like this. And I know if we've got the move tool selected and you just select an image, it's going to jump around in the layers palette. Well done. In today's class, we were doing the human collage, and I'm still missing a few submissions from Naz, Nazir, Pauline, Farzan, Eitan, Christian, A. Marie, Lindina, Ihao. What I also know is just a few minutes ago, I've got submissions from Jaylani and Dylan, who submitted literally 5 minutes ago. So shout out to these guys. Let's take a look at your work. And it's bedtime for me, and I feel like I'm about to have nightmares from some of your work, including maybe Dylan's. This looks good. I'm not sure what the theme is. I'm kind of curious. Shout out to Jaylani who submitted this. This is fun. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jada. Actually, Jada, I really like this, and I like how the layers themselves are at a little bit of an angle. I think that's pretty fun. I didn't even talk to you guys about that. So you know what, Jada? Here's what I know. I'm gonna press Command Control Shift 4, and then I'm gonna left click. I'm gonna take Jada's work, and I just did a quick screenshot. I'm gonna return to Photoshop, and I'm gonna click File, New, and I'm gonna go to Print. We're gonna go to Legal, Orientation, this Landscape, and press Command V. So there's Jada's work. What I know you know is if you press Command T, you can increase and decrease the size and then check to confirm. What I never told you, but what Jada figured out is if you press Command T and then click and drag, you can rotate the image. You're gonna wanna pull the mouse away, and then you can rotate it, in this case, 17 degrees. You know, this is a new feature of Photoshop where it tells you exactly how many degrees we're rotating. And so now I'm rotating at 40 degrees. A little throwback to geometry. Remember when I used to pretend to teach math? I love that. All right. Well done, Jada. Sophia, this looks great. I love the Knicks. I don't know whose eye this is. There's a story behind it. Is that Dante DiVincenzo? Mad Scary Malcolm. This is bananas. This is scary, but thank you. Thank you for submitting it. Oh, Bella, this is also super scary. What is this story? Aiden, well done. Thank you so much. He's got his name and date. Vaughn, well done. You're going to put your name and date on the image itself. Otherwise, Vaughn, that looks awesome. Okay, Arib, that looks... Fortunately, no, this is going to give me a nightmare as well. Thank you so much, Arib. Thank you, Ernest. Well done putting your name on it. Maya. All right, so Maya is the best kid, but you guys take a look. Do you see how Ernest has his image at a relatively big size, as does Arib, as does Vaughn? So Maya, you're like the best kid, but you'll notice how this is really small. It's because you didn't use the blank that I shared with you in Google Classroom. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to make sure, everybody, you left click the blank, you're going to hit the 3 vertical dots, we're going to open in a new tab, and then we're going to download. And from there, Maya, we're going to click File, Open to make sure we get the high res image. That makes sense. Let's take a look at a few more submissions, and we're gonna wrap it up and take a look at what we're doing today. Thank you so much, Jesus. This is fun. I love that soccer player's enthusiasm. Zichi, this is cool, not scary. This is a little bit more lighthearted and fun. Thank you for sharing. Yikes, Brooke just swung the pendulum in the other direction. This is mad scary. Thank you so much, Brooke, for another nightmare. Oh, this is fun. Jonah, bringing me back to baseline, stabilizing me. Thank you, Jonah. And then we're going to wrap up with my man, Kevin, who's featuring what I hope are some of his favorite politicians and possibly the smile of the next mayor of New York. Well done. All right, let's stay tuned for the next video where we're going to be learning how to use the elliptical marquee. Oh, and the paint bucket. Actually, you know what? The paint bucket is, okay, the paint bucket is midway down the toolbar. I don't know if the gradient tool is the default, but if it is, what you're gonna do is you're gonna right click or control click, and then you're gonna pull up the paint bucket so that you can you're gonna find out how it works.